It is Wednesday, December 23rd, and it is 5 o'clock in the morning, and I am down here in the freezing kitchen. I had to go to the bathroom and I came downstairs because I had an upload that had not finished by the time I went to bed, and I wanted to check on that, and it finished, and so I did my ending stuff for that and turned off my computer. And I am going to go back upstairs to bed as soon as I finish filming this. But this is going to be the first part of my 4-week update, where I'm going to give you like maybe daily or every couple day brief updates. There is a dark side to my enthusiasm in this video about how well I was walking and the progress I was making. When I went to bed last night, I noticed and pointed out to Megan, and she agreed with me, that the swelling in my ankles was again much worse. Especially the right one. It looked really bad again, almost as bad as it did at the very beginning, and they really hurt. My sleep was worse than ever because my ankles are really painful and sore, and I'm standing right now and it's not comfortable. They hurt right now. I might even take some ibuprofen because I want to be able to get back to sleep because it's still dark outside and I should not be up this early. So I might have to scale it back a bit and maybe go back to using my chair more and trying not to do so much because I obviously overdid it and that's not good. So, bummer. Hello again. It is now Wednesday, December 23rd at about 10 o'clock in the morning. It is a very dark and dreary day. I'm actually surprised at how light it looks on my face right now because I'm basically only being lit with the light of the Christmas tree. It is my mom's birthday. We sent her flowers. I did kind of get back to sleep, I think, in like little fits and starts. I did not sleep very well though, but I was aware of a couple times I think I was dreaming, but I kept waking up and I don't know, it was rough. My ankles really hurt. I honestly can't tell if they're any more swollen or less swollen this morning because I can't see anything because it's so dark. My mobility today, just since I've been up walking around a little bit, I haven't even put my boots on yet, is again improved. I still feel much more able to walk around. And another thing that I noticed, which is a real positive, is my ability to get up from sitting has greatly improved. I've apparently really strengthened my core and my legs because I no longer need to use my hands to pull myself up. I can just stand up. I can literally just stand up from sitting with no problem at all. So that's awesome. But the pain and the swelling last night were very bad, and the pain now is not great. And it was really rough during the night. I was really having quite a bit of pain in my ankles during the night. So I guess what that's a reminder of is I did injure myself quite badly, and I am almost 50 years old, and I'm probably not going to recover from injuries as fast as I would have when I was younger. That reminds me that this is different. Like when I asked my mom about like her knee replacement surgery, when someone has a joint replacement, or even if they have surgery for an injury, and they might try to get you, well, I'm not sure about that, but they might, I know with joint replacements or like a reconstructive surgery, they try to get you up and moving as quickly as possible to aid in your recovery. And I think that's different in this case because when all it is that you're injured and you didn't have surgery or anything to repair anything, all the places I've read online, all the medical websites have said the main thing I'm supposed to do is stay off of it. So I guess that's a painful reminder that just because I can do something doesn't mean I should. So I probably need to be staying off of it longer. The disadvantage to that is I feel more helpless and stuck, and Megan has to do more. Now, the one good thing is, I'll give you a little school update. Yesterday was the last day of school before Christmas break. The kids now get off 13 days, so not quite 2 weeks. They get 13 days off for Christmas break, and they are encouraged to actually take a break and not work on their schoolwork. They can work on it, but it won't count towards their virtual attendance. Ben is done with the entire semester. The semester ends January 21st, so there's 14 days of school after Christmas break. There's that last Friday, the 21st or 22nd, whatever that is not a school day. It's like a teacher work day or something. Ben finished his entire semester of work last week. There is something to be said for that self-paced thing. When they can see the end of the class, oh my gosh, they get very excited and they get very motivated. Like, oh, no, I'm just going to do more today because look how close I am, Mom. So that's how Ben got, and that's how Megan got with her Lifetime Fitness class. She finished her Lifetime Fitness class on Friday, I think, or Monday. And then yesterday did as much as she could in her other 3 classes to get them past the point where she needed to be for when she goes back from Christmas break on January 4th. So Megan's still got some work to do. She's still hoping to get done a little early so that she can have a little bit of a break between the 2 semesters too, because she's going to be given new classes. And her high school is actually doing it by quarters. So she had 4 classes first quarter. She had four classes now, and she's going to have 4 new classes third quarter and 4 new classes fourth quarter. So she would like to have a break in between there. But I'm hopeful that because she doesn't have school now for the next 2 weeks, she's not going to be as stressed or mind as much if I stay off my feet and she has to do more around here for me. I also really want to get to the point where this right ankle feels good enough that I can drive. I'd really like to be able to drive. I am also a little disappointed because I would have liked to drive and try it out before it gets wintry. Like when the roads are still dry and clear and everything. The reason it's so gray and dreary today is it's supposed to rain all day. It's not raining now. It was supposed to start at like 9, but it's not raining. Looks like it will, and then around dinner time tonight, it's supposed to switch to snow, and we're supposed to get like 3 inches of snow. Looking forward in the forecast, it's going to be super cold, like a high of 7 tomorrow. And so that snow is not going to go anywhere. And so once it snows, then, you know, you got to be more careful with driving. I'm a good experienced driver in the winter. I've lived in Wisconsin my entire life, and I've been driving for 30 years, so more than 30. Still, just this ankle, I don't know how my reaction time is going to be. I'm doing it right now, like trying the motion it would be like to do the pedals, and it hurts a little. It makes me nervous. So I want that to be a lot better before I try driving. I will continue to keep you posted as the rest of this period between my 2-week update and my 4-week update progresses. I just thought of 2 other quick things I was going to tell you. The bruise on my thigh, on my left thigh, is basically gone, like I can't see it anymore, but it's still a little tender to touch it right there. And then my elbows, the last time I took a shower a couple nights ago, Megan and I decided that I no longer needed any kind of Band-Aid on my right elbow. It's like completely healed up. And then last night when I took a shower, I did not put a Band-Aid on my right or my left elbow. It's still a little tender, and there is still a little bit of a red spot there that I'm going to keep an eye on, but I am no longer wearing any bandages on my elbows. Good morning. It is Thursday, December 24th, 2020. It's Christmas Eve. And I have to show you what happened during the night. It's white. I'm not sure it actually meets the definition of a white Christmas because I read an article the other day that said to meet the definition of a white Christmas, it has to be at least 1 inch of snow. And I don't think it is. I can still see the grass poking through over here and like at the base of the trees. Some kind neighbor did shovel for us. See on the sidewalk there? And over here on the front walk. They didn't shovel our steps. And I noticed, hold on, that's the Christmas tree here. I've got my boots on. They shoveled all the way over to there, but they did not shovel the driveway. And again, my car is sitting in the driveway. They shoveled like the whole end of the driveway though, so that was nice. Here's the Christmas tree with its presents under it. And there's going to be some more presents this afternoon because Andrew is coming and he will be bringing presents from himself and presents from my mom. There was like a blizzard and it got stuck over Minnesota like all day, which is actually quite unusual. Usually what happens is we always get the worst weather.
they'll get like a little bit of snow and then we get just completely dumped on. That's what usually happens. This time it was kind of the opposite. This winter storm sat over most of Minnesota and the Twin Cities like all day. Although I'll have to ask my mom and Andrew how much snow they actually got. And they said all day, they're like, oh, it's a blizzard. You're definitely going to have a white Christmas. Meantime, all day yesterday here, it was 43 degrees and raining. And we're like, no, we're not. The weather forecast kept saying it was going to start snowing here at 5. And then it was going to start snowing at 6. And then it was going to start snowing at 7. Well, I can tell you, as of 8:30 last night, it still hadn't started snowing. Then it started to get really, really windy. But it was basically just blowing the rain around, and it must have started to get really cold because it sounded like it was blowing ice around. It sounded like it was blowing like ice against the windows. And when I went to bed, that's basically how it was. And I was very tired last night, probably from not sleeping well the last several nights. And I went up and went to bed. The kids were still down here. And I said, I'm going to bed. And by the time they came upstairs, I think I was asleep because I wasn't even aware of them coming upstairs. And I was so tired I couldn't even read my book. And I always read in bed for like 30 to 90 minutes. So I didn't even read and I fell asleep right away. And it was windy and like ice hitting the windows like that when I went to bed at like 9:30, 9:45. And then when I woke up, it was like this. It's now 1 degree. 1. So that's a drop of 42 degrees in... well, I don't know how long it's been 1 degree. It might have been colder than that in 12 hours. So that's a big drop in temperature. I was a little worried at one point right before I went to bed. I saw in the news that Interstate 94 between us and the Twin Cities was actually closed. And I think it was because of visibility. It was because it was snowing and the wind was blowing around so much that they couldn't see. Andrew is going to come today and bring presents from him and my mom. And I feel really bad about this because I obviously don't want him to feel unwelcome, but we do really need to be careful because Andrew has been working. He has still been going to work and he goes to stores and everything. And he's good about wearing his mask, I'm sure, but he also lives with 3 roommates. And I don't know how careful they've been and what they've been doing. They've all already gone home to their families for Christmas. And they also all went home for Thanksgiving. Although if they had caught the virus over Thanksgiving, they would have gotten sick by now. So, or, you know, been through the contagious period by now, at least I think. I don't know. How long are you contagious if you're asymptomatic? Does anybody know? We're being super careful. One thing I realized right away is he's not going to be able to sleep overnight because he and Ben share a bedroom here. That'd be 2 people breathing in the air with no masks in a closed room all night. That's no good. So I got him a nice hotel suite for tonight, right downtown. Because our tradition in our family is we open our family presents on Christmas Eve. And then Santa comes tonight, which I'm a little worried about that because of the condition of Santa's helper elf. And then we do our stockings in the morning. So this way, Andrew will be able to come in the morning and do stockings. It's not unusual for a kind neighbor to shovel like that for us or snowblow. And I can tell you this is them returning the favor. Because for many years, we've lived in this house over 17 years. And for the entire time my husband lived here, and then even after my husband left, there was 4 years after my husband left when Andrew was a teenager, like in high school, we had the best snowblower around. And my husband and my son would snowblow our stuff and the neighbors. Sometimes they'd do the whole block. So there was many times that my husband or my son would snowblow for other people. That was not unusual at all. And everybody knows I'm a single mom and that my husband left us. And I'm sure people know because they've seen us wheeling around me in the wheelchair that I'm incapacitated right now. And so our neighbors are very good about that, about being kind. And it's not always the same neighbor too. It'll be like different people every time. So they're very nice about that. And I've explained to you how I gave my snowblower to my neighbor and I gave him money for gas. So I don't know who did this today. I wasn't even aware anyone did it. I had to have been out here pretty early. I slept better, but my low back and my hips kind of hurt. My ankles are kind of stiff because, again, I still can't sleep on my back. And basically all night long, I'm basically flipping from one side to the other side, left side, right side, left side, right side, because I can't stand to lay on my back, but I also can't stand to stay on one side that long because my back and my hips start to hurt. And so I don't sleep very well, and I just really hope that that can stop soon because I really need to get some better sleep. That's probably been the biggest thing. And it's affecting my mood and how I feel physically. I don't feel very good. I guess I'd describe it as like tenderness, just all around my ankles, and it's from them touching the bed.
It is Friday, December 25th, 2020. It is Christmas morning. It is 7:30 in the morning, and it is still dark out. And no, I am not up because I'm super excited that Santa came. I'm sure that's why Ben's up, yes? Ben's up. I didn't sleep at all. This was the worst night yet. Part of it was because my ankles, and I'll come back to that. The other reason I didn't sleep at all is because I was up all night worried sick about Andrew going to his dad's today. I'm very, very, very unhappy that he's going there and very worried that he's going to get the virus. If you go back and watch my 2-week update, I talked about a lot of things that I was finding it very difficult to do. Good news is that with the exception of driving, really, and obviously being completely back to normal, as far as like strength and mobility, everything has improved. All of those things I said were really difficult. It's still kind of difficult to get dressed. I can even walk down the stairs now, very slowly and carefully. So that's good. The bad news is I'm still really not seeing any significant improvement in swelling or pain. And that's very frustrating, and I am quite concerned. And the one thing that I mentioned in the 2-week update that was very difficult, that is still very difficult, is sleeping. I am not sleeping really at all. I am having an absolutely horrible time with sleep. I can't sleep. I cannot get comfortable in the bed at night. My ankles touching anything at all at night hurts, and I can't figure out any position that I can sleep. It just keeps me awake, and it's agony. And I'm getting really, really, really tired, and it's really affecting me, and this is very negative, and I don't know what to do. I just can't sleep. It just hurts, especially on the sides where those bones stick out. Sorry. This is what happens when you don't get any sleep. When I made the first update video after I had that very frustrating and completely pointless visit to the podiatrist, which honestly I do not feel was worth risking exposing myself to the virus, I really wish I hadn't gone to that visit, honestly, because it just upset me. I mentioned how usually the clinic sends a survey, and that this is the one time I probably would fill out the survey. Well, guess what? This is the only time in years of going to that clinic that they did not send me a survey. So I don't know what that tells you. So I can't give any feedback about how unhappy I was with that visit. I also mentioned that I might like to get a second opinion, and some people have asked why I haven't gone to see another specialist. Here's the thing with that. First of all, I don't know if I even can. I don't know if our insurance allows us to go anyplace else. And even if it does, I don't know if I would be allowed to do that without a referral. I can't afford any medical bills, so that's a problem. Secondly, I really don't want to go out and expose myself to the virus. That's more important than what's going on with my ankles. And thirdly, I don't have any way to get there. I can't drive. I do not feel comfortable driving in someone else's car with them, particularly my dad. And I really think it's dumb for my mom to drive 4 hours to take me to a 15-minute doctor appointment. I just really hope that this pain goes away, and the swelling is a lot less, but especially the right one is still really swollen around that bone on the outside and kind of on the top of the foot too. And
I don't know why that's not going down, and I'm really frustrated, but mainly I just want the pain to go away. It's fine while I'm awake, and especially when I have the boots on, it really doesn't bother me. It's at night when I'm trying to sleep. I really want to be able to be comfortable in my bed and sleep. So that's where I'm at today on Christmas. Yay. I hope you all had a better Christmas than I did. Here's the latest on my ankles. And sorry you can't see them that well with my cute new Bamba socks on that my mom got me for Christmas. Okay, this one, the left one, right along here, which is where the fracture is, two things. It feels, even touching it, it feels very, very severely bruised. Like the worst, imagine the worst bruise you've ever had in your life. That's what this side feels like. The other thing is it almost feels flat. Like the bone that normally sticks out on the side of your ankle is gone. That's what it kind of feels like. And that's what got broken. So I'm kind of concerned about that it's like permanently damaged. I don't know. And like the shape is weird now. Okay. And then this side, and I know you can't see it very well. There is a bulge. See this bulge right here? It doesn't hurt to touch, but it is significantly sticking up. And when I don't have my sock on, it almost looks like a tumor. It's a big bulge right here, and it is just not going away. And I guess the bone is there. Yeah, the bone is here, but then this is a bulge of swelling, I guess. And that's just really weird, and it looks weird. And he pointed this out on the x-ray too, that he was concerned about this front top area of this one. And so whatever that is, I guess it's just swelling, but it's just taking a really long time to go away. It is Saturday, December 26th, and it's almost 9 o'clock in the morning. And I have good news and bad news again. Okay, the good news is I slept all night long. I'm so happy. I definitely still am very aware that I was flipping over side to side again, trying to avoid those sore places, those painful places on the sides of my ankles. But I did not get up at all in the night. Like I didn't get up and go to the bathroom. I didn't get up and like was laying there wide awake staring at the ceiling. Nothing like that. I slept all night. Probably 9 hours actually. I must have been obviously really tired, and the kids are still sleeping. I guess the bad news is just what I just showed you about my ankles. That's the condition that they're currently in. And I guess the other bad news is I am kind of struggling right now with feeling pretty sad and depressed. I really wish this wouldn't have happened. And I felt really bad yesterday because yesterday was Christmas and the kids were in a good mood, and you know, Ben was excited and I just was miserable. And I apologized to them like in the evening. I said, I'm sorry that I don't have the Christmas spirit. I mean, I had a couple Christmas movies I was going to watch. I didn't even do that. I just was not in the mood at all for Christmas. And it's a few things. And a couple of them are related to the fact that I had this injury. So I want you to be aware of that there's definitely, like I talked about in that 2-week update, there's definitely an emotional and mental component to getting injured like this. Okay, the first thing, like why I wasn't in the Christmas spirit, is because I had that whole Christmas-themed trip planned for us and all booked and everything. We had plane tickets and hotel reservations and tickets to 3 different events and all these things we were going to do, and I was very, very excited about it, that we were going to do over Thanksgiving break. And then because of the pandemic and our concerns about traveling and the CDC's urging people not to travel, we canceled it. And I am really sad about that. And I was very disappointed. And I know that that would have, you know, definitely helped get me in the Christmas mood and everything. And so that was something that I had been looking forward to, and then it got taken away. And so then when that got taken away, I tried to bounce back by getting excited and focused on Christmas stuff at home and like doing things around here and all these different light displays we were going to go see. We were going to go see all these different lights displays, and our town was publishing the addresses of houses that had really cool light displays, and I had plans to drive around town and look at all those with the kids, and we have a really neat Christmas thing in our town to go drive through, and I had tickets to 2 different Christmas lights things in the Twin Cities. We were going to go to Nature Illuminated at the Minnesota Zoo, and we were going to go to, we had tickets to Christmas in Color, which was at Valley Fair, and we didn't get to do either of those because I got hurt. And if you notice back in my, like where we were setting up the tree and everything, I had started to like get excited, and I was happy because since we didn't go on the trip, I had money to buy the gifts that I wanted to get, and I got a new tree, and I was all happy, and then I fell and hurt myself. And so that kind of just like yanked the rug out from under me again, and I can't do anything. And then we've had these like, you know, 2-3 stressful weeks of poor Megan trying to do everything for me on top of school and not getting to do any of those things that I wanted to do. And it was just really a humongous bummer. And not to mention being in pain the whole time and not being able to get around. And then the third thing, I guess, is like the pandemic, of course, changed everything for everyone. And for us, it meant a very small, very limited Christmas. Andrew was only here for a few hours on Christmas Eve night. And I mean, probably actually the time he was in the house with us was less than 2 hours. And we had masks and were distancing basically the whole time except to take a picture. The pandemic, you know, makes everything a downer. And since we couldn't do the things that I even planned to do, that made it worse. And I guess the thing is, the pandemic is already challenging and difficult for anyone because if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, we're stuck in our homes and we're home all the time and we can't do all the things we would normally do. But if you think that's bad, try breaking your ankle and not being able to drive. And I can't, like now, I can't even get in the car and go anywhere. I mean, now I actually feel trapped. All through the pandemic, I've never felt like I was trapped. Well, except in the United States. I do feel trapped in the United States, but I feel trapped now in my house and I feel stuck and I feel helpless. And that's just making that, everything about the pandemic and having to stay home is making that like 10 times worse. And so that on top of like, I just don't have anything to look forward to right now. I don't know how long the recovery of my injury is going to take. I don't know how long it's going to be when I can actually walk around at the normal pace I would normally walk around in. I don't know how long it's going to be till I can drive my car. I don't know how long it's going to be until we're going to be able to travel again. I don't know any of that, and that's really hard. I'm really struggling with that. I'm a planner by nature, and not being able to plan anything and not being able to have anything to look forward to. And I can't even do any long-term planning at this point. Like, I would really like to be booking the cruise I want to take with all 3 of my kids for my 50th birthday in 2022. And I can't even do that because I don't have any money. So it's just hard. It's very hard right now. And I guess the only thing I can really sort of say we have to look forward to is I guess we can look forward to getting the vaccine eventually. I don't know when we're going to get it, but anyway. I do want to also add one positive thing. When Andrew was here, one thing that he did for me was he did drive my car around. So he got in the car, he scraped all the snow and ice off of it for me, and he got in the car and he drove it around the neighborhood for a while, and he says the car is absolutely fine. So that's good. So I probably will still have Megan go out and just start the engine, especially now that it's so cold and it's not in the garage. I didn't want to have Andrew put it in the garage because it's hard. Our garage door is so narrow. I've broken off car mirrors, side mirrors before. Not on this car, but the van I had before this, I broke it off twice. I don't want to put it in the garage because it's hard enough to get the car in and out of our garage as it is. But with this injury, I don't even want to think about how hard that's going to be. And also, I realized I think this is the longest I've ever gone in my entire life since I started driving without driving, except for when I was living in London. Like when I was living in Ireland the summer between my junior and senior year of high school, but I had just started driving at that point. And then when I was living in London in 1993 for 4 months. I didn't drive that whole time. That's the longest I've ever gone driving, but otherwise this is probably the longest I've ever gone without driving. Has anybody else had that? Like, I just feel like it's going to be so weird to go back to driving, and I'm going to be doubly nervous about it because I'm going to be worried about my ankle and how it feels to drive. So has anybody gone a long time without driving like that, and what was it like to start driving again? There are still several more days until it's 4 weeks since I fell. However, I think I'm going to wrap this video up here because I don't want it to get too long. And also, I really don't think much is going to change over the next several days. We're not doing anything. We're not going anywhere. Christmas is over and we're just going to be staying at home, and I'll basically be just only having to move around the house as I normally have been for the past several weeks. I mean, I think my mobility as far as like getting around the house and stuff is pretty good. The key things I think are being able to drive, being able to like go outside and walk outside. I don't feel comfortable doing that right now. And having the last of that pain and swelling, if it is what it is on the right ankle, be completely gone are the things that I'm hoping for. And unfortunately, I don't think any of those will change between today and Friday. So I'm going to wrap up the video here. I hope that you appreciated this update. Sorry, this was kind of a downer of an update because I am kind of struggling right now. So I appreciate your thoughts and prayers, and thank you for continuing to watch my journey in my ankle recovery. I appreciate your likes and comments and shares, and I would really appreciate it if you would please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate hearing your stories of those of you who have also suffered ankle injuries like this. It's interesting to me to read those comments. I hope that you all had a good holiday season, and I wish you all the best in the new year. Safe travels.